Okay, so 11.6 we're dealing with annuities, which have kind of more involved formulas, but everything in the formula stays the same as to what it means. And again, you have two formulas just because they don't think you know algebra. So you have one formula if you want to find the final amount, given an initial amount, a rate, number of times you compound per year, etc. And then you have another formula that they call the sinking fund formula that you use if you don't know how much you need to start with, but you know how much you want to get. So those are our two formulas. For number 9, they tell you straight up to use the first one to figure out how much you're going to get if you invest $3,000 annually. So we're just going to plug and chug. We're plugging in $3,000, that's our P. 1 plus the rate, 5%, so that's 0.05, divided by 1, because you're just doing it annually. Again, n is 1, and the time is 30 years. And then minus a 1, and divide by, again, the rate is 0.05, and that guy down there is 1. So, we're just going to crank this thing out step by step. The first thing you're going to want to find is, again, this 0.05 divided by 1, and add the 1, so that's 1.05 to the 30th minus 1, all over, and again, the 0.05 divided by 1, you'll have already done that. That's just 0.05. And so now, 1.05 to the 30th is 4.321942375. But you're going to subtract 1 from that, so it's just going to be 3, big decimal. And so that takes care of that. We're still dividing by the 0.05. So now you're going to multiply the 3,000 times 3.321942375, and you get 9965.827125. Divide that by 0.05, and you get 199,316.54. Let me just check that. Yep, it's looking good. Okie dokie. So we're doing it again for number 11. And they still want us to use the ordinary annuity formula to find out how much money we're going to have if we invest. So the final amount will be the $400 we invest times 1 plus, sorry, forgot the brackets, 1 plus 0.08 divided by 4, since we're compounding quarterly. Again, the n is 4, and we're doing it for 35 years. And minus 1. And it's all divided by 0.08 divided by 4. So now, just punching this thing in. We're going to start with the 0.08 divided by 4. So 0.08 divided by 4 gives you 0.02. If I add 1 to that, that's 1.02. And 4 times 35 gives me 140 minus 1 all over. And remember, this was the same as what we got right up there, so just that 0.02. So we're there. Now we're going to zoom in on this. So I'm going to do 1.02 to the 140th power. So you're looking again for the caret or the x to the y button on your calculator. And I'm getting 15.99646598. But remember, I want to subtract a 1, so I'm just going to make this 14 point blah 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 blah. And I'm still dividing by the 0.02. So now, just crank this out. 400 times 14.99646598, and then that is 5998.586392 divided by 0.02 gives you 2999929.32. So you don't really have to write out that last step. Your calculator will hold that value, but just in case you got that, you just check that. It's looking good. So yay. Okay, so looking at number 13, they're spoiling it for us and telling us that we want to use the sinking fund formula to determine the payment we'll need to invest to reach our calculated goal. So for number 13, I want to accumulate $20,000. So I want to know the amount to invest if I want to accumulate $20,000. So my final amount is $20,000. And then I'm multiplying that by the rate, which is 0.04, and then n, I'm compounding semi-annually, so n is 2. Then I'm dividing by 1 plus 0.04 divided by 2. Again, n is 2, and the time I need to do this in is 15 years, and minus a 1. So, plugged it in. Now we're going to chug out the answer. So again, we're always going to start with this 0.04 divided by 2, and that gives me 0.02 divided by, and remember this part here was 0.02, so 1 plus that is 1.02. 2 times 15 is 30, minus a 1. So now, let's crank this out. 2,000 times 0.02 is 40. In the bottom, 1.02 raised to the 30th is 1.811361584. That's that. Remember, I want to subtract a 1, so I'm just going to subtract 1. So I'll make that 0.81136, blah, 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 blah. All I got to do now is divide. So 40 divided by 0.811361584, and I get 49.2998, which I'm going to round to 49.30. So let me just check if that's good. Huh. They have exactly $493. I'm off by a decimal. That should be 493, not 49.3. Where did I mess up? Ah, right here. I lost a 0 here. That's 20,000, that's 2,000. So there should be a 0 there, which should make a 0 there, which would make that 492.998, which would make that 493.0. So, sorry about that, but that's alright.